Guys, well, we're back out for another one. This time we're chasing those ditch chickens. Kansas has done a great job with the public hunting. This walk-in hunting program, I'll tell you what, they have leased some primo pheasant ground. They've got primo deer ground. As you saw, found a really good spot for doves, waterfowl, the whole deal. So that takes a lot of the work out of it, as long as you do your scouting, right? You don't have to go knocking on doors. You don't have to get the 10 no's for every yes, asking a private landowner, right? In my particular area, there's a lot of outfitters. So outfitters have got a lot of the private ground leased up, and the few that aren't leased up, a lot of it, those guys like to watch waterfowl, they like to watch the deer, this kind of thing, or just won't let you in. And I don't blame them, because I like to watch all that stuff too. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you what I'm walking. How to walk this gigantic field. It's a half a mile wide and a full mile long. At first glance, that could be kind of a daunting task, right? I mean, it looks almost impossible for one dude to be able to walk this. But let's break this down. It's just like fishing. These pheasants aren't just randomly out through this thing. There's a reason they are where they are. If you hunt the edges of all of this cover change, you're going to do really well. And here's a cover change I'll show you right here. There's a little draw right here. It's got some millet looking kind of stuff in it. And then it's got really good, thick, deep grass right here. If you zigzag back and forth along this edge, you're going to do pretty good. That is a high percentage area. Just like fish, right? This field, 10%, there goes one right there, gosh darn it. And he's going right into, you probably can't see him on a GoPro, he went right into that milo. But this is just like fish, right? 10% of this field is going to hold 90% of the birds. Now, I actually walked this field yesterday, and when I got one pheasant up, I got 10 up. I don't know why they're gathered up like that this year, but it rained just like that all day. So, and all I did was walk these cover changes. Here's another one. There's kind of a rise right here. I've got really good grass over there. I've got that millet looking stuff in that draw right over in here. There's a cover change there too. We've got short grass right next to some of that real tall, thick grass. And I just saw a pheasant go out into that milo. So, and he came out right here about 10 yards into that really deep, good grass is where he came out of. While we're making our way over this next cover change, let me talk a minute about a dog. When I was younger, I ran a lot of dogs, mostly labs, and they did great pheasant hunting and quail hunting as well. You know, a lab's very versatile. But also, a lot of my buddies had German short hairs, Brittany's, Weimaraners, all of these. They did really great. However, they take a lot of work, right? They're a hunting athletic dog is a high maintenance item. There's nothing that isn't maintenance on those things. In the off season, you've got to run them, you've got to maintain them, you've got to, if you got a retriever, you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to throw for them a couple times a week. You can't just leave them set. Not if you want them to be at their optimum performance. Look at this, a deer trail. There's a lot of deer out here in this grass too. In Kansas, you don't necessarily have to have trees. Look at that trail, man, well defined. I scared some deer out of here earlier. So, but anyway, back to dogs. So now that I don't have so much time to train dogs, I just bring out the family pet. You know, all dogs have a natural inquisitive nature. If you bring a family pet out here, he's going to put his nose down in this grass and he's going to go see what he can find. That's their nature. That's what they do. And if you've got him to where he'll run back and forth looking for stuff and stay within gun range, you're golden, right? It's like having another 3 guys with you. those things not only make a lot of racket right next to you to scare these things up, with their nose to the ground, there's many a time they'll find a pheasant. Now they may not know exactly what it is, if once you shoot one, they probably won't bring it back to you. Mine doesn't anyway, but he can be effective at finding those things once they are down. So just because it's a family pet, not a well-trained 1,000 horsepower purebred German short hair or Weimaraner or Brittany, don't think you have to leave them at home. I'd bring them along with you. You know, as long as they don't just take off and hit a mile into the field. If they stay close to you, you're golden. You can't ask for more than that. All right, guys, here's a cover change I wanted to show you. This spot right here yesterday, when I came through here, I busted up a group of about 25 pheasants right out of here. And this is what they're doing. They're hanging with this cover chain. This is very deep, thick grass right back here. We're running into a millet kind of a thing right here. This is actually, in wet years, this thing is wet. There's water standing out here. It's a pretty good duck spot. But this year it's dry. So those pheasants, you can see the different colors of the vegetation growth. So I want to keep myself in the high percentage area of this field, 10, 15, 20 yards inside of that cover change in that deep grass. That's going to be the most effective portion of this field. If you just pick out these kind of spots and hit those, you're going to save a lot of time and you're going to get a lot more birds. Let's talk about ammo just a minute. I've hunted pheasants all my life, and the thing that never ceases to amaze me is how tough those things are. We used to hunt them with 6s, 7.5s, this kind of thing. That was the accepted shot size back in the day, right? Stubble ducks are really tough, right? If they have any life left in them, when they hit the ground, they're running. And they're gone, baby. So over the years, I've stepped up, and this is what I'm shooting. I'm shooting a 3-inch 4. That's what I'm shooting. It's a high brass. This is actually a Remington shell. It's a nitro magnum. I want to hit them. I want to hit them hard. I want them to fall and stay right where they fall. Right? Boy, we've lost several because they ran off. You know, they hit the ground and boom, they're gone. The firearm that I prefer for upland game is an over and under. The reason for that is I can run 2 different choke tubes. In the first barrel, I'm going to run an improved cylinder, and the next barrel, I'm going to run a modified. That's why everybody likes those over and unders. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. More content coming real soon. See ya.